Hello, my dear friends. Welcome back to this cozy corner of Storytime. No matter who you are, child, teen, or adult, you're warmly invited here. So take a breath, get comfortable, and let's step into a gentle story together. Our tale begins in a quiet village surrounded by soft hills and golden fields. The cottages here are painted in warm colors, their chimneys always sending up friendly curls of smoke. Children play along the cobbled lanes, and sparrows dart across the sky as if sketching invisible letters. In one of these cottages lived a boy named Jonas. He was cheerful and curious, with eyes the color of the summer sky. On his cheek, just below his left eye, was a small scar. It wasn't very big, just a pale, curved line, almost like a crescent moon resting on his face. Some children asked him about it, and Jonas would simply smile. He never seemed upset by the scar. Instead, he treated it almost like an old friend. His grandmother once told him, "A scar is not just a mark, Jonas. It's a story the world gave you, and stories are meant to be shared." Jonas loved that thought. He would often sit by the cottage window, watching the sun set over the meadows, his fingers brushing the little mark on his face, wondering what stories others might see in it. To him, it wasn't a reminder of pain. It was something that connected him to the world. Something quietly special. And so, my friends, that's where we begin. A boy, a scar, and a story waiting to unfold. Stay close, because in the next part, we'll see how this little mark becomes part of something gentle, surprising, and beautiful. Jonas loved spending his afternoons in his grandmother's garden. The garden was wide and colorful, filled with daisies, roses, and even rows of lavender that hummed with bees. There was an old wooden bench beneath a pear tree, and that was Jonas's favorite spot. He liked to sit there with his notebook, sketching flowers, birds, or even the shape of clouds. One day, as he sat doodling, a little girl from the village wandered in. Her name was Lila, and she had hair the color of chestnuts and eyes bright as spring leaves. She looked at Jonas curiously and then asked, "Why do you have that little moon on your cheek?" Jonas touched his scar and laughed softly. "That? It's not a moon. It's just a scar. But it looks like a moon," Lila insisted. "Maybe it's your secret mark, like a sign that you carry a story." Jonas blinked at her words. He had thought of the scar as a story. Yes, but a moon? That was new, and it made his heart feel lighter. From that day on, Lila often joined him in the garden. They would name the flowers, tell each other stories, and sometimes imagine Jonas's scar glowing like a silver crescent whenever the evening sun touched it. The scar no longer felt ordinary. It felt magical, a little symbol of friendship. And so, my friends, a small mark on a boy's face began to shine, not because it changed, but because someone looked at it with kindness. In our final part, we'll see how this little moon scar becomes a gift that lasts forever. As seasons passed, Jonas and Lila's friendship grew like the flowers in the garden. They played in the fields, shared drawings, and watched the stars appear on summer nights. Whenever the moon rose, Lila would point at Jonas's cheek and whisper, "See? The moon is always with you." Jonas would smile, feeling proud of his little scar. One winter evening, the village gathered for a lantern festival. Candles glowed inside glass jars, lighting up the snowy streets. Jonas and Lila walked side by side, their breath visible in the frosty air. A younger child tugged Jonas's sleeve and asked shyly, "What's that mark on your face?" Jonas bent down, smiling warmly. "It's my moon," he said. "It reminds me that every mark tells a story, and mine is about friendship." The child's eyes widened, and he nodded as if he had been told a secret treasure. From then on, people in the village no longer thought of Jonas's scar as just a scar. They called it the little moon, a sign of light, hope, and gentle strength. Jonas never forgot his grandmother's words, "A scar is a story the world gave you." But thanks to Lila, he also knew something more, that when someone sees your story with kindness, it turns into something beautiful. And so, my dear listeners, we end here with a boy, a scar, and a moon that shone quietly in a little village garden. May this story remind you that every mark, every memory can hold light. Thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed this story, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and return for more cozy tales. Until next time, stay gentle, stay kind, and carry your own little moons with pride.